Hello everybody! Sorry for the background noise. The air conditioning is being a biatch and I do not know how to make it stop making that noise. Anyway, today's going to be a makeup tutorial slash discussion. Basically, I'm not buying the Norvina palette, and I actually was kind of excited about buying it at first. I was like, I'm gonna get this palette, I'm gonna do a video on it, and I'm gonna do some looks with it, and I'm really excited about it. But then I changed my mind, and I figured I might as well put it in a video because I have been pretty vocal about my desire to get the palette, and I figured I might as well make this into a tutorial, into a purple makeup tutorial using like colors I already have, using makeup I already have. So if you want to see how to create this makeup look and why I will not be getting the Norvina palette when everybody else on the planet seems to have gotten their hands on it already, watch this video. So guys, I have already done my eyebrows. I know, yes, I know I need to pluck my eyebrows. I'm gonna do it, I just haven't found my tweezers yet. And I already primed my eyelids. So I just have like a whole bunch of eyeshadow palettes with great purples in them, and I'm going to show you how to create like a beautiful purple makeup look without the Norvina palette. And I actually do have, I think, at least one makeup look, at least one purple makeup look planned that I'm going to upload at some point, but I'm not sure if this video is going up before that look or after. But I do have like purple looks on my channel, but I just wanted to create one while talking about why I don't want to get the Norvina palette anymore. So I'm unsure as to whether or not I'll be using all of these palettes, but I just wanted to show you guys some of my favorite palettes with purple shadows in them. Like, these are not all of them, these are just some that I want to spotlight in this video. The first is a Pinky Rose Cosmetics Bright Lights palette. I'm not sure if I'll be using this today, but this beautiful purple, it's a bright purple and it's really lovely. I use this a ton, and I just wanted to show you guys this palette because I have done a lot of videos on this palette. I've done a review, I've done tutorials, I've done the whole shebang. But this is another palette that I haven't really talked about too much. This is the Icon eyeshadow palette, and if you look, this is kind of like a full-on, like, full shimmer, no matte eyeshadow palette, and they have like some purpley tones in there as well. I think I might use this palette, not sure yet. Then I have the Lorac Pro. This is a pretty like basic looking palette, but this beautiful purple is a very muted kind of purple. It's kind of like reminiscent of like the entire Norvina palette aesthetic, if you will, so that's really nice. And then I have like this little purple thing that I don't think I'm going to use in this video because this is not available anymore, but if it was, I would definitely recommend it as an alternative for the Norvina palette because this is such a beautiful selection of really nicely formulated shades. But the only problem is Kat Von D decided to discontinue it, so that's wonderful. Also, another beautiful purple is this one right here from the Jaclyn Hill, from the original Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Well, I do think that these three shades like make a beautiful like little selection of like purpley tones. So like I think that nearly everybody at this point has this palette, so I think I might be using this palette in this video. So those are all some beautifully formulated purples that I currently own in my collection. I think that for this specific video I want to use this palette, and then I also want to use the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. So anyway, I'm not going to be talking too much about like what eyeshadows I'm using. I'm just going to show you what I'm using, and I'm just going to be spending this entire video chatting to you about why I will not be purchasing the Norvina palette, because I figured I might as well just inform you of this, because I know that a lot of people have been using this palette and it's been really hyped up on social media, and I honestly, like, I don't feel like I want to buy this palette. And for a long time, well, not for a long time, for about, I don't know, a month, I felt like I really wanted this palette and I did not want to get it right away. Not for any reason, just because I prefer ordering from Sephora and then honestly just waiting for the products to be released in Sephora. Plus, waiting for the products to be released in Sephora allows me enough time to like really contemplate my purchase and really think about whether or not it is the right decision for me to purchase a certain makeup product. And usually after like a long, like not a long period, after a certain period of contemplation, I am able to make a pretty good decision, and it's either a decision that ends up with me getting the product or not. And I usually am able to sort of like move past the hype and really think about whether I want a palette or not, whereas just following the hype and getting a palette that I might not even be using. So with the Norvina palettes, I was seeing so many people talk about it, and I kind of like was part of the hype because I was really excited about it and I was going to get it and I was going to review it on my YouTube channel, blah, 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 you know, that sort of thing. And then I was like actually thinking, hold up, wait a minute, is this the palette that I actually need? I feel like what happened with me was that I sort of fell into the trap of thinking that the Norvina palette was a purple palette. Because if you look at the packaging of the Norvina palette, they packaged it in this like beautiful purpley color. And because that they packaged it in that way, I feel like I kind of tricked myself into thinking that this was a purple palette. And since I don't really have a purple palette, I kind of like was wanting to get this palette because it was a purple palette. But then, when I actually looked at the color story of the palette, and when I kind of like sort of stepped back and actually looked at this palette without, you know, like being all hyped up, I was like, it's kind of a neutral palette with like a few purples in it. And most of the purples that I kind of liked in the palette were shimmery purples, and I have those shimmery purples, you know what I'm saying? The more I looked at the palette, the more I was like, this is not a wise purchase for me, because I have decided that I kind of want to be able to like spotlight some like beautiful, like amazing indie brands and talk about like makeup that not a lot of people are talking about, because I've been doing this series on my channel called Will I Buy It, and it used to be called Anti-Hauls, but then I kind of like changed the name. But anyway, this series is called Will I Buy It, and every week on Sunday I put up a video where I go through each release that interests me for that week and I talk about whether or not I think it's worth it. And that video series has opened my eyes to so many amazing indie brands that I never even knew existed. And I know that a lot of you don't even know about these brands. And the more I look at these brands and the more I like watch reviews on some of these brands, I'm fascinated by what these people, like what these brands are putting out. And sure, these brands are known, but they're not nearly as talked about as some of the mainstream brands like Morphe or Anastasia Beverly Hills or Too Faced or some stuff like that. They're not nearly as talked about as those brands. So I was thinking, why not take the money that I would be spending on like typical brands and typical launches and instead like just save up and spend money on like products that I don't really hear much about, products that are not nearly as talked about. And I kind of feel like those videos would be so much more useful, because if you basically go on YouTube and you search up Norvina palette review or Norvina palette tutorial, you get so many kinds of videos, and it's like, if I make a video, it will literally make no difference. Like, it might help like a few people, but it will make really no difference because everyone is always making videos like on this palette. Why spend like $50, which is a lot of money, on a palette that everybody kind of already has an opinion on, if I can just take that money and get like 2 palettes or even just 1 palette from a brand that most of you have not heard about, but that I really want to try out, you know? So it's kind of like, why not just spend money on that? And I feel like that would be like a more interesting experience for you guys that are watching my videos if I just start talking about brands that you guys might really like, but you guys haven't heard that much of. And I want to take my channel into that direction because I really have not done like many reviews on my channel. I mean, I have a review playlist, but I want to put some out, and I want those reviews to be like ways for me to introduce new products to you guys and new like ideas and new concepts and more interesting color stories, you know? So yeah, I mean, like that's, whereas with the Norvina palette, I mean, like I said, you guys already know about it. You guys have already seen it on social media, and I can take any palette really, like, and I can create a beautiful purple look with those palettes. And I feel like this is so much better for me than to just take the Norvina palette and just take the few purple looks that are actually in that palette and try to make a look out of those colors. So like, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm trying to go with in this like long rampage. But yeah, like this is what I have so far on my eyes. I kind of like have been taking like a little bit of this purple color and just putting it on top of this eyeshadow look that I have been, you know, creating and sort of blending it out, so it kind of like looks a little bit brighter but still more muted. I really am all over the place in this video, like, oi geez Louise. So yeah, in short, my reasons for not buying the Norvina palette is because I don't really like the color story. I don't think it's a good fit for me personally, and I'd rather take the money I'd use to buy the Norvina palette and spend it towards something that I would actually find more interesting and something that hopefully you guys are watching my videos would find interesting, because I can buy the Norvina palette and I can create a review on it, but like I said, everyone has already done that, and why should I do it if everyone has already done it? You know, if you think, and if you guys want to see purple looks, I mean, I'd love to create purple looks because I love purple and I think it's a beautiful color. But I don't necessarily need the Norvina palette to do so, you know. And the reason I made this video is just because I kind of already said that I was going to buy the Norvina palette because I was planning on buying the Norvina palette. But then I was like, I don't really want to buy the Norvina palette, and since I had already said I was going to buy, I kind of wanted to explain myself a little bit, and I figured might as well use this opportunity to create a beautiful purple makeup look for you guys without the Norvina palette, because recently, like, every single purple makeup look I've seen has been with the Norvina palette. So I figured might as well switch things up a little bit. I'm going with my finger into this color from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I think I'm just going to put this right there using my fingers. This is what I do with my finger when I'm done with eyeshadow. I just put it on my palm. Okay, so looking for a foundation. I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I have sort of like been switching up my foundation routine recently, and I've just been like using this one because it is a good foundation, and I figured I might as well start using it again. And I'm using the Morphe M439 Rush to apply it. I like to call myself a makeup artist in the sense that I am an artist and I love using makeup. I'm not a professional one by any means. So when I do this, it's because my ignorance is blissful, and I just like tend to just put like pile on color. And what's really great about having like a tiny brush is that you can just blend things out like little by little. I used to be so insecure about my under eye circles, but now like I like to do like really dramatic makeup looks sometimes. And I honestly like use my under eye circles to like literally map out where I want to put like the heaviest amount of like eyeshadow, you know? Like, it's like, I'm unbelievable sometimes. Now, what I want to do is I kind of want to do a little bit of a inner corner highlight. And to do that, I'm not sure what color I want to use, because do I want to go like full on monochromatic purple and just like use like a purple as an inner corner highlight, or do I want to do something else? Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, you know what? Let's just get a little bit snazzy and use this color from the Jaclyn Hill palette, this one right here, and just use that in the inner corner. This is like a light pink. I actually haven't used a light pink in my inner corner for a while, so this is a new look, like, or a semi-new look for me. For my highlight, I want to use this sleek palette right here. This is a beaming AF highlighting palette. It is amazeballs. I love it. I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer now, and I'm taking my little bronzing brush, and I'm just going to bronze the holy crap off my face. Recently when I go out, I'm always sort of like one or the other. I either put on like a whole bunch of like really colorful makeup because I'm, you know, like what the crap, or I just go out with like no makeup whatsoever or super minimal makeup. And I love it, you know? Why am I not wearing earrings today, honestly? That would have really completed this look. Today I'll be using the House of Lashes Noir Fairy Lights. Wait, no. That's wrong. This says Noir Fairy Lights, but I know for a fact that these are the Iconic Lights. I think. So I must have put these in the wrong package. I definitely feel like I need to get more lip gloss because I feel like the lip glosses that I have right now are sort of like running out, by the way, so that is something that I need to do. I'm just going to be lining my lips using the number 7 Precision lip pencil, and this is in the shade Blush. To everyone that says like, oh yeah, I don't need a lip pencil, why is everyone using a lip pencil? I'm always like, how do you survive without a lip pencil? Because my hand shakes sometimes, so I can't like get a precise line without a lip pencil, so I need some help. Plus it's kind of like lip contouring a little bit, because if I have like a darker lip liner and then I have like a nude lip, it kind of like makes my lips look fuller. Is that like a 90s trick or something? I feel like it was. I was born right at the end of the 90s, right when people were like, is Y2K gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? What is going on? You know, I was like born around that time. Sometimes I feel like I miss like a really fun time, you know, with the 80s and the 90s. But then I'm like, I make life fun for everyone around me. That's a lie. I'm exaggerating. Why is there air conditioning coming on again? That is pretty much the end of this makeup look and my video on why I will not be buying the Norvina palette, because you can create a beautiful makeup look like this without the Norvina palette, and honestly with mostly the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, because let's just be honest, I used this palette the most in this video. I mean, I did use some other palettes, but this was like the big player in this video. Of course, I used these 2 palettes too. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this one, this slightly unconventional makeup tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.